Welcome to the series premiere and series finale of Winning Investment Strategies 101. Invest definition via freedictionary.com to commit money or capital in order to gain a financial return. Therefore, the strategies will be to gain returns or capital, or money in this case, fiat currency, for gain in a goal towards a positive return. All strategies given in this video will focus on sports, cards, stock market trading, and politics. These are easy tips that can be used to gain a positive ROI, which is return on investment. The index of investing strategies will be as follows. Sports. We're going to take a look at football and a Super Bowl winning strategy that has won me 80% of the time. Hockey and basketball, easy winners every season. And cards, blackjack, let's put the odds in your favor. Poker, psychology trumps all. Poker, do what they hate and don't what they love. Stock market, winning system for any stock market, Forex, at any time frame. And the 2012 elections, Ron Paul and other entrants. I'm going to be going really fast on the first three columns, sports, cards, stock market. Then I'll finish it off with a little bit on the 2012 elections. So let's get started. The Super Bowl system. Play the better coach to cover the spread. It was costly to play the New England Patriots over the New York Giants, but it was not costly in games where Oakland and Tampa Bay had the mother of all coaching mismatches, and the results were there. Lovie Smith and Tony Dungy were even matchups, but you need to remember who the player coaches are, and having Peyton Manning at quarterback, who is a player coach, over Rex Grossman, who was not the play, well, it was simple. Now this year, for the top coaches, I got the rankings as of following. Therefore, if it happens to be Denver and New Orleans in the Super Bowl, that would be the biggest mismatch there is. I doubt that would be the Super Bowl, but it's safe to state that there's a good chance whoever has a higher ranking I'll cover in the Super Bowl. An NHL NBA betting system. Look at the individual team schedules and look for the mother of all matchups that are too brutal, where teams play 4 nights in 5 in the NBA, where they are on the final night on the road. Then you may want to consider betting on the home team to cover. In the NHL, man, there can be some brutal schedules as well. Consider playing the Phoenix Coyotes to cover the spread over the Ottawa Senators on January 24th, 2012. I don't see how this day will not be brutal for them, in a sense, should be very tired and ready to go on a 1-week vacation after this game. Now, this is the schedule on the left-hand side. 12 games over 20 nights, with the last 5 on the road and 8 of the last 9 on the road. Also, after U.S. Thanksgiving, consider all teams that play 3 road games in 4 nights and 2 in a row to be worth betting against. This play is the strongest of 2012, and in this case there is a spot where they play 3 of 4 nights on the road and 2 in a row at the very end. Put the odds in your favor at Blackjack. Count cards and make sure it's not an auto deck shuffler. The procedure in counting cards is making 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace big, while the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are low, and ignoring cards from 7 to 9. The easy way is using a plus-minus variant, where in a situation of having 9 big cards in one hand and 6 small cards, the count is +3 or -3, and not a rich deck. A rich deck is when the count has a lot more lower cards, not more higher cards than it does lower cards. So ignore what it says here. It has a rich deck is when it has more higher cards available than lower cards available. And this tells you it's more likely to encounter bigger cards. With a very rich deck, do the following. Bet larger bets, take insurance, surrender or fold, hard 16. I think it's better to stand hard 16. I shouldn't say fold. Surrender or stand. And I rather the stand. Stand 12 against the dealer bust card. Double 11 versus 10. and continue counting. In small decks, bet smaller amounts, never take insurance, hit 16 against a 10, and hit 14 against a deuce 3, hit 12 against all, and double less aggressively. Psychology trumps all when you're playing poker on the green felt. Use it wisely as it is complicated. Start by researching Mike Carroll and understand weak is strong and strong is weak. If someone looks very disinterested in the hand, that probably means they are very interested. What is smart is to ask yourself after you play a hand if you gave that tell that Mike talks about that humans give off naturally. When you can do this, you can stop giving away that tell. When you see the tells, you can act on it. When you stack your chips, keep your eye on your opponent. If he or she looks interested in your chips as you stack a bet out, then you may want to consider putting the chips back and, well, either checking or folding your option. If the player gives you an evil stare after he bets and looks right at you while his chest is not breathing, you are safe to call with ace high, and if he or she's not pot committed and you got nothing, you might want to move all in. Do what they hate and don't what they love. If you're playing poker and you raise a middle position and the button calls you, then you do not like this most of the time. You raised and you fail to get your position, and your chances of winning go down in large comparison of an out of position player like a blind calling. Because of this, you may want to consider calling hands like 3-5 suited and 7-8 due to the reason of outplaying this person and maybe hitting something big when they will never put you on this awful hand. That's, of course, when you are in position, because if you hate it when somebody calls a position, well, then do the opposite. I love it when players make bets that give me great pot odds. Therefore, never give great pot odds to your opponents. I love it when they get their chips in with only one pair on the flop with 6 people to the flop. Therefore, make sure you have a powerful hand or powerful draw of 12 reliable outs or more in family pots, and to extract the maximum amounts, and don't pay off decent hands in these situations with decent hands. When a chart can confirm that it is held and stayed above a key 61.8% retracement while it still has a decent size left, a move to its sell target, which is its previous high, while it has a bullish short-term pattern while the longer-term time frames have no conflicting bullish remarks, then buy at levels as you can see on this chart. This is an amazing buying opportunity within this look, as it's pretty much by the book. With over 1,000 stocks, commodities, and Forex charts, and one can be picky in finding codes for them to wager, bet long, in the hopes and positive probability odds to gain a financial return. Okay, so I'm going to spend the rest of this time now on this here, which is on politics. On the very bottom of the screen there is the disclaimer. I'm not going to read that, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time regarding the presidential odds. I'm using 5 different sport books: DSI, Intertop, Sports Interaction, Paddy Power, and Ladbrokes. And they all have odds for presidential elections. Now, these aren't the odds, but they're the percentage chances that they believe that each contestant or entrant is going to win their game. Now, President Barack Obama has a complete bye to the finals, I believe. I don't follow this sport too much. It's not that interesting. I don't find it exciting. So therefore, I'm really not into it too much. But a lot of people seem to be talking a lot about Ron Paul, who on average, they state, has a 3.88% chance of winning this game. Now, the highest of the 5 is 4.12%. The lowest is 3.4%. Which means with about a 15% vig, 20% vig on both sides, you're getting somewhere around the area of about 25 to 1 to make the wager, where Barack Obama, you are getting less and worse than even fiat currency. So there, I find this very interesting. We have many sports books, bet makers, who are willing to put their fiat currency where their mouth is. And right now, their mouth is stating that if it's Barack Obama against the winner of a bunch of these people in here, that Obama should have a 50-50 chance of winning. Now, they give Mitt Romney a decent shot. Then you got Gingrich, Paul, and Santorum, all in this 4% area. So just maybe, if Ron Paul can win his next matchup, which I think is the one against all these people, it's almost like a fatal, like a WWE match where you have like 6 people in a match, like a, I'm trying to think of a match that they have, a elimination chamber match, only one can survive. But even then, I think it's a triple threat match in the finals. I'm really confused about this because you got Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. So maybe it is a triple threat match. Well, I'm not making any wagers on the whole ordeal, but Ron Paul does seem to be getting great popularity. Also, I seen a very smart and talented investor make an investment earlier on Ron Paul on YouTube.com, better known as Stella Concepts. He made a wager for Ron Paul as well, and really a wager is the same as an investment. There's no difference really if you're betting on stocks, if you're betting on someone to win the presidential election, or a hockey game. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great weekend.